Welcome to all our mentees. Thank you so much for joining us. It's another evening. It's another time of learning. It's another time of sharing. And as you know how we do it on Do Take Action and on the Bloompod Mentorship Scheme, we don't only, give you mentors. We bring the best of the best. And today in our midst is none other than our big mama, Madam Layo. We've had a lot of conversation about you. Everybody in Nigeria is buzzing. Every young person is just hitting to come and learn from the wealth of knowledge you have acquired over the years. So please, mentees, ensure you use the chat box to tell her how happy we are to have her here. So please blast the chat box and be saying thank you, Ma, for coming to this place. We'll start very soon. Thank you so much for starting and coming on time. So please use your chat box. How are you doing? And what are your expectations? Just let's use this few minutes to write that down. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. As we count down to 2 minutes, I'm definitely going to be reading her profile as we do it. But I just want you to use the chat box and tell us, how are you doing? So I'm seeing I am happy to be here and I have a lot of questions to ask. Really great. So please, you can be dropping the questions. We'll be picking them and she would definitely answer it at the end of the session or in between. Who else is in the building? We have 1 minute more. Thank you, Auntie Layo. Glad to have you on board for this session. I look forward to an informative session. All right, Auntie Layo has heard you. Good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Peter, we are glad you're here as well. Really great. Good evening, Arinola. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Arinola.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're battering her name.
Yes. Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again. My name is Blessing Abani. Of course, I am the community lead for the Bloompod Mentorship Scheme, and it is my honor and privilege to welcome our first facilitator for today's session, a phenomenal woman who has risen through the ranks of leadership and today has been part of ensuring that young people, especially Nigerians, because she's our own, so we're going to carry her by force, ensuring young people like you and I have opportunities to study and soar. Permit me to introduce Oluwafumi Layo Ladipo. She's the program officer, Chevening Awards. Oluwafumi Ladipo is a graduate of architecture from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. She completed her master's in 2001 and has since then worked in Abuja. Her professional career began in design and construction industry, where she worked as an architect for a construction firm for 3 years, after which she worked for a renovation company as a project architect until she joined the British High Commission in April of 2006. At the British High Commission, Layo worked with UK Visas and Immigration for 13 years, and out of those, she was a manager of a team for 7 years. In July of 2019, she joined the Chevening Network, where she has had the opportunity and privilege of managing the selection process annually. The most rewarding experience so far has been the opportunity to prefer ideas on the best possible engagement strategies for our Chevening alumni. The Chevening portfolio is extensive and involves setting annual goals to improve our selection processes, marketing processes, alumni engagement, and partnership engagement. Today, one time this, one time that, but most importantly, a facilitator on the Bloompod Mentorship Scheme. Please, ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding clap, let's welcome our phenomenal facilitator.
Hi, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here to share a practical guide on how to apply for the Chevening Scholarship. As the Chevening officer for almost 2 years now, I've seen quite a number of scholars leave to study in the UK, to attend various universities. And it is such a joy to be able to promote this scholarship in order to enable potential leaders reach their goals. Thanks also to my dear Precious Ebere, who is a beneficiary of this scholarship, and also to her team for setting up this session on mentorship. I know through our discussions that this is a dream come true for her, and I am hopeful that quite a number of Bloompod mentees here. So I have a few slides to share, and they were taken from the website. I would really encourage you to visit the website, as I was saying earlier on, and study all the requirements, as we probably wouldn't be able to finish everything here. So Precious kindly share the website address in the chat box for our audience if you can. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Precious. We'll start from here. So this slide shows a brief overview of the Chevening program. Scholars study for a one-year master's at any UK university and any course of their choice. This year, we will be sending off 38 scholars to the UK, and we're looking forward to them coming back and improving knowledge and skills to support the transformation of the Nigerian economy. Next slide, please. Okay, so who are they aimed at? So we're looking for potential leaders who are ambitious, have strong academic backgrounds, and they're passionate about their dreams, and have great interpersonal skills. Chevening scholars tend to rise in their chosen fields. So our eligibility criteria are listed in this slide. So you have to be a citizen of a Chevening eligible country. Thankfully, Nigeria is one of the 160 countries where there's Chevening scholarships. Then you should have an undergraduate degree. For the undergraduate degree, applicants need to have a 2.1 or 2.2 minimum, but please check with your university of choice if they are willing to accept less, especially if you have a great career already. For work experience, we have a minimum of 2 years work experience. It could be voluntary work, it could be internships, part-time work, full-time work, or even NYSC. And the way we calculate this is 40 work hours in a week and 35 weeks in a year. That gives us 1,400 hours in a year. So for 2 years, which is the minimum, you need to have 2,800 hours. Can we go on to the next slide, please, Precious? Thank you. So for further eligibility criteria, I'd like you to note here that the unconditional offer from the university has a deadline of the 15th of July of every year. So it is important to begin your research as soon as possible and begin to apply to these universities. You have to apply and have 3 conditional offers, and before the 15th of next year, have to have at least one unconditional offer. So please check with your individual universities for the specific requirements and ensure that you meet them. Can we go on to the next slide on the English language requirement, please? So we just stop here for a bit. So the English language requirement used to be required over the last few years, but then because of COVID, we removed it as a requirement. But sometimes some universities would require this as a requirement from you. So you would need to check with your universities to ensure that you do not need to meet the English language test. So can we go on to the next few slides just to share the kind of tests that you can do in case your university requires it? So we could have the academic IELTS, or we can have the TOEFL exam. Next slide, please. Or Pearson PTE academic, or the C1 advanced test. Last slide on our English language requirement. Next one, please. And finally, we have the Trinity ISE. Thank you, Precious. Thank you. Can we move on to the next slide on our Chevening offer? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So you can see that we have a fully funded scholarship, and everything is listed there, what it covers, fully covered tuition fees, living allowances, that's the monthly stipend. So apart from that, there are additional grants to cover essential expenditure. And in addition, we have visa fees covered for. This year, because of COVID, we will be paying for COVID tests on arrival in the UK. And then there will be expenses paid to networking activities, COVID permitting. Please note that there is a fee cap for MBAs. Last year it was £18,000, but this year it's gone up to £22,000. So can we go on to the next slide? Thank you, Precious. So what else does it cover? The next 2 slides show other benefits of the scholarship. So far, for some people, it could be the opportunity to visit a new country if you haven't been to the UK before, to meet new people, with diverse cultures, visit tourist sites. There's also the networking opportunities with the Nigerian Chevening Network or the Global Chevening Network, or even your university alumni. There's also the opportunity to volunteer and then attend internships as well as part-time work if possible. Other benefits could be a career in enhancement or change, and even the English language. The fact that you're studying in English, it could improve your English language skills. And then there's personal growth and wider experiences from on-campus activities, as well as wider interactions. Can we have the next slide, please? Thank you. So the network, we have about 50,000 plus alumni globally, and about 1,300 alumni in the Nigeria network. Can we move on to the next slide? Thank you. So over the last 30 odd years, we have seen a lot of alumni who have used their knowledge and skills from the UK to make a positive impact. Some of them are highlighted on this slide, and I'm sure you all know them. On that slide, we had Mr. John Momo, who is the CEO of the Channels Group. We also had Herbert Wigwe, who is the GMD of Access Bank, and Mrs. Toki Mabogunje, who is the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry from the University of Exeter. So looking at these alumni, you can see that they come from different industries, and it is clear that after having an additional degree from an international institution, they have become national change makers and a positive influence on our nation. You can see that they are from different industries ranging from law, commerce, trade, communications, and even amongst us, our very own Precious, who is doing great things in the education sector. It is my hope that as many of you that can aspire to study in the UK, whether through scholarship opportunities or as paid students, can consider the benefits it will have to yourselves and to Nigeria as a whole. Can we move on to the application timelines, please, on the next slide? Yes, so our applications open on the 3rd of August of this year and end on the 3rd of November. And after that, the applications are sifted against eligibility criteria, which I mentioned earlier. And in November, an independent leading committee in the UK assesses these applications. Once they have created what we call a long list, they send this back to us. And then in the British High Commission, in the Lagos and Abuja offices, we sift them again and shortlist for interview. After that, applicants are notified in February. So next February, applicants will be notified if they've been shortlisted for interview. Next slide, please. So the interviews run between March and May, and then in June, the interview results are announced. And finally, the selected applicants are contacted in July, and well, between June and July, and then they must submit their final unconditional offer letter by July 15th or 16th. It depends on the date that is given by the Secretariat. And for those who have to submit their English language test to their universities, this is also the deadline that they would have. So by September and October, successful applicants arrive in the UK and start their studies. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I just talked about when the applications open, which is the 3rd of August, and they close in November. Please ensure that you visit our website. That's the website address. It's very important that you do that because there's a lot more information there. There frequently asked questions. There's quite a lot of information that I would not be able to share here. So we can go on now to the application process. Can we go on to the next slide? When you're applying, you would be completing a form that would ask a lot of details about your qualifications, your work experience, your eligibility, and other details. You will also be asked to write 4 essays on the topics listed in the slides. The minimum number of words would be 300 words, and the maximum number of words is 500. So you'll be talking about your leadership and influencing qualities, your networking abilities, next slide, your career plan, and why you have chosen to study in the UK. So those are the 4 essays you'll be writing about. So I have highlighted a few tips which I think will be helpful, but they are general tips. So we'll just run through those. Can we go on to the next slide, please? And then I'll share some specific tips after that. Please make sure you tell your own story. Don't tell any lies, because they would know. They run your essays through a particular tool to be able to identify if you have copied from someone else. Try and make sure you read and understand the questions before you answer them. Write clear and concisely with relevant examples, and try and be organized. If you can, use the STAR approach, where you have to highlight the situation of your example, what task you were given, the action points, what you did as an individual, and finally your result. And also, if you want, you can add on your lessons learned. Can we go on to the next slide, please? And also, it's important that you work online or offline if you want to. It depends on you, really. It depends on how much data you have. So you have the ability to work offline and then paste it into your application later on. If you're looking for the universities and the courses, I would advise that you start researching now, because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult corresponding with these universities and getting the right information on time. So start researching now and making up your minds about what you intend to study in the UK. Next slide, please. So please try and submit your applications on time. I know you have 3 months in which to submit the applications, but you find some people taking their time in the beginning, and maybe just like 2 weeks to the submission date, that's when you start putting your thoughts together. So that could be a disadvantage for you, because you would probably have quite a lot of information that you haven't got, and you will begin to panic. So best thing to do is start on time, start researching now. Even when the applications open, it will be great for you to spend time going through the questions. If you can't answer some, you go back, close it, save it, come back, so that it's flexible and it's user friendly. Next slide. I've talked about preparing your answers offline. Your references is very important, because you need to have academic and professional references, as you would need to upload them. That date, 3rd of November, really is it's just a set date, but I think you have up until February of next year to actually upload them onto the portal. Other useful tips would be to research the priority areas in Nigeria by following UK in Nigeria on social media. UK in Nigeria is on Facebook, it's on Instagram, and it's also on Twitter. Yes, there's the Twitter ban, but you can use the other social media platforms. So that is the list of our priority areas, but you do not have to restrict yourself to these priority areas. You just have to tie your essays with what you're passionate about and other global goals. Next slide, please. That's where we're talking about. And when you're choosing your course, it's good to ask yourself these questions. This course I'm going to study, by the time I come back, how would it impact in Nigeria? Would it be changing policies? Would it create positive change in a community? Would the UK government want to work with me in the future, in my future role? And then the wider goals, as I was saying earlier on, or the sustainable development goals. You can tap into any of these. Next slide, please. Okay, I'll just talk about some specific tips. I'd just like to add that when you're answering the leadership and influencing question, try not to spend your time defining leadership. Give specific examples of how you have led and link them to your present work. Some people have the habit of using very old examples from secondary school or university. If you don't have any other examples, you can use them. But what you need to do is you should use relevant examples from your present work and your post-study plans. Then you focus on the long-term impact of your influencing skills in your essays. And please use I and not we when you are discussing the action that you in your examples. because you have to blow your own trumpet. By the time you say we, it means you are talking, about what you have done as a group. But we're trying to see how you have led and how you have influenced. For the networking essay, you would also need to talk about not just your network, but how you intend to leverage on your network. In addition, explain how you think the Chevening network will benefit you in the future. And then for the study in the UK essay, please do your research well and understand your modules well. Do not just copy and paste information from a university promotional material. Let the reader of your essay feel the passion you have for the course and impact the course will have, especially on your post-study plans. And finally, on your career essay, please set SMART goals for yourself. You can, after this, go and study what SMART goals are, but it's mainly specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. That's what SMART means. Then you can mention your short-term goals, your midterm and long-term goals, and then you should have like a realistic ambition that looks achievable. Also explain how the scholarship will help boost your career plan and how this plan will strengthen the relationship between Nigeria and the UK when you come back. So I would say this is the end. I'd like to pause here to stress that the scholarship scheme, turned off my video. The scholarship scheme requires scholars to come back home after 2 years and actualize their career plan. And this was an agreement, and this would be an agreement you would sign if you do get this award. So you would have to come back and at least encourage development in Nigeria. There's a new graduate route visa that a lot of people have been talking about. It is attractive to international students, but then this offer is not available to Chevening scholars based on the agreement. So I would like to thank you all for listening, and I'll hand over to Precious. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Precious Iberi and I'm a current Chevener and co-founder for Do. Some of the most frequently asked questions we have received so far during the course of the Bloompod sections are: how can one be a grassroots development champion, and how do one join the Bloompod mentorship network? At Do, we are a community of young and old people taking action to drive sustainable development in our community. These set of people are who we refer to as grassroots development champions. They are very passionate about their community, they have seen a need in their community, and they have rolled up their sleeves to take key actions to drive changes in their community. At Do, we support these GDCs with necessary resources to ensure change is delivered one community at a time. Our key issues we are very interested in working with GDCs are listed below. As a GDC who have driven a key project in their community, you are entitled to become part of the Bloompod mentorship section. And this is our own way of ensuring the personal growth and development of all our GDCs. Aside being part of the Bloompod mentorship network, we provide our GDCs with amazing network and opportunities, including freebies, and also a chance to have a satisfaction of becoming a role model to other emerging young leaders out there. To become a GDC, all you have to do is to see a need in your community, which falls in line with our key priority areas, and take action. Okay, your section was really very in-depth, and it actually raised lots of curiosity from our mentees. And of course, I would like to read some of the questions, and I hope you can answer most of them. We might not be able to answer all the questions, but then we have all these answers on the Chevening website. So the first question we're having here is someone's asking if Chevening allows opportunities for HND holders and OND holders aside BSA.
Okay, so the minimum requirement is an undergraduate degree. Unfortunately, if you have an HND, it's good to have an HND, but you would also have to have that additional degree to be able to apply.
Yeah. So someone is asking, can someone start a course this September 2021 after applying for the scholarship?
Can you clarify that question, please?
Yeah. I think they're trying to know if the scholarship is open for scholars who want to resume September.
This September?
Yeah.
No, it's for next year, September. So the whole process takes almost a year. By the time you submit the applications and they end in November, then the whole cycle begins. And so it will be until September of 2022.
Yeah, so Obed is asking a question. Can someone who graduated 2022 be eligible to apply for the scholarship?
Graduated 2022.
2022, yeah.
That's in the future.
I think maybe he's
So that this person is still in school, they haven't graduated.
Probably.
It depends on the course you're doing. Did you have a first degree initially? If you did, if you have your work experience minimum of 2 years, then you're free to apply. But if you haven't completed that, or you do not have, because you wouldn't know when you're going to get your results from university, and you need that to submit in your application.
Yeah.
So it means that you have to be looking at the next application period and not this one.
Yeah, so Chevening is a scholarship that runs yearly, right? So every year, applications are open every August, and it runs throughout
every August.
Yes, every August, and it runs throughout a 3-month span. So if you're still in
except
school,
for last year,
yeah,
except for last year with COVID, it started in September. Yes.
So if you're in school, it's best to start building a track record that will allow you to apply in August. So that's been answered. Chidima is asking, if someone who has a degree in international relations, is it advisable for someone who has a degree in international relationship? Sorry, let me see. Is it advisable for someone who has a degree in international relations apply for a law conversion course with Chevening?
It depends on you. It depends on how you want to tell your story and explain why you are making the switch. As long as it is clear why you feel you need to switch, then you are free to apply for it.
Beautiful. Someone said, can I use the essay I applied with 2 years ago?
If you applied using that essay 2 years ago and you are not shortlisted, then there's a problem with that essay and you need to find out what it is. It doesn't mean that your essay wasn't good, but you need to now reach out to people, mentors. They should have a look at the essay and find out where you think you had fallen short in that essay. And the thing about it is, it was 2 years ago. Your career has advanced in the last 2 years. So you would want to modify your essay to reflect the changes and submit it. So you can't even just submit the old essay because that was 2 years ago. Hopefully you would have progressed in your career, and so you would want to include that in your essay.
Yeah, and to add to that, right, Chevening actually gives you opportunity to write or talk about your recent experiences, your recent leadership skills. So you can imagine you having, of course, 2 years is still recent, but it needs an upgrade. You need to actually add recent things that has happened in your life throughout that span of 2 years and bring it into the now, because that's how you actually tell your own story better for Chevening, right? So you need to actually go and review your essays and rewrite them to suit Chevening's thematic areas. Don't forget about that. Chevening has key thematic areas that you must actually abide with. Thank you so much for that response. Does Chevening recognize a BTech degree from Nigeria? Should BTech be biotech? A BTech degree. A BTech degree. I don't know what that degree is. It sounds like a biotech degree. So of course you already have the eligibility.
As long as you have a degree from a university, then you are eligible to apply.
Beautiful.
It depends on the future course that you're applying to study for in the UK, on how you link it with the course that you're going to study.
Yeah, and it's also very important to actually review Chevening's eligibility criteria. If you've not seen it, go back to the website and study it if you fit in, if your degree fits in, Or even though it doesn't fit in, how well has your track record or career evolved over time? You can actually use that to actually sell yourself also. It's how best you make your argument, Human being read those essays. So make better
Exactly.
arguments. Yeah. So someone is asking, does cheating give jobs or guarantee jobs when they come back to Nigeria?
Unfortunately, they do not. They have given you a fully funded scholarship. They have given you the best that they can give you. Now, it's because of the leadership growth that you have after finishing from the university in the UK. You should be able to, probably even while you are in school, have started searching and looking for jobs. With your skills, you have new skills now. You're experts now in your particular industry. So you have to now sell yourself and compete with everyone else. You competed, you applied for this scholarship with thousands of Nigerians, and you came out on top. You were the best of the best. So even in the job application process, you have to stand out because you have gone and improved yourself. And you have all these skills now, knowledge skills, your technical skills. So you're supposed to stand out and be better off than the next person.
Thank you so much for that response. It's very detailed. So Vera is asking a question. She's saying, is it compulsory to apply to the school of your choice first before applying to Chevening? Or how does that process work?
Yes, you can. You can start applying now. I mean, the thing about the application period, which is 3 months, is that because you're going to be answering that study in the UK essay, it's good to have started the process. No one is expecting you to submit a conditional offer before the applications close. But at least they want to see that you have researched about the course, you've researched about the university, and you're able to highlight why you want to study this course, why this specific module, what is it about this course that is going to change your life, what will be the impact of studying this course. So it's just that you begin to research and you begin to get ready. And because it's a process whereby you have to keep corresponding with the university and coming back, they ask you for documents, you submit the documents, they will tell you, okay, it's conditional for now, but then we still need these documents. And that's why we give the 16th of July of the following year as the deadline for you to submit the unconditional offer.
Yeah, so the next question is a very regular question we always get to answer. So Dominic is asking, are the grade limits 2-2 or above?
Okay, so for the undergraduate degree, you can have a 2-1. I've seen so many people who have had a 2-2 and still have won the award because it also depends on your career and what you're doing and your work experience and how you sell yourself. You could have ended up with a very low degree or have come out and have worked in a different industry and you've built yourself and built your skills. So it's how you highlight how you have progressed over the period of time. I was saying that 2-1 or 2-2, you have people who are 2-1 graduates, but they don't know how to sell themselves. They don't know how to blow their own trumpet. Then you have people who are 2-2s, but they are able to tell their story properly. They're able to highlight what they've been able to do with their career and how that has been able to impact on their degree. So these are the kind of things that we're looking for. We're looking for like the holistic approach. We're not just looking for a particular degree because you finished with a 2-1 or a first class. Then you need to show us why you got that degree and what you intend to do with it going forward. Somebody with a 2-2 can even do better at interview than you that had a 2-1. So it depends.
Yeah, one key thing, one reason why cheating stands out is they're not really result driven and they're not certificate driven, right? They are result driven. So they want to see how much
Yes.
of result you have done in your community, how much of an impact you have actually done or carried out in your community, and then how well you can sell those stories. That's what really matters, not how well you've done in school or how much of a very important place you've been working over time. No, it's how much impact you've made. And that is why we are encouraging GDCs to carry out projects, impactful projects in their community, take on leadership roles, do those tasks that look so difficult, break those rules in the right ways, right? And cause change. And then once you've done this, you tell your story. And then Achievement is actually there for you to actually ride on with your stories and take you to the best schools of your choice in the UK. So thank you so much, Layo. So 2-2 should not stop anyone from applying this August. Take that down. Someone was asking if you can get your number and my number for direct guidance. I'm so sorry you can't get that. That is why we actually created the Bloom Pod. The Bloom Pod is a mentorship platform wherein we mentor GDCs. GDCs are grassroots development champions who are really passionate about community development in their community. And every GDC must have carried out a project. So currently, of course, we have over 100 persons on board the section, but we have approximately 35 GDCs on our platform who have driven one project in their community. So in total, we have 35 projects driven by GDCs. So if you really want to be part of the one-on-one mentorship section, I'm going to be sharing the Bloompod link on the chat button. So do well to use the link to apply because we'll take you step by step, every step of the way. We'll work with you to help you review your essays. We'll work with you to ensure you actually tell your stories the right way, wherein any scholarship body can actually pick you up for the impact you're making in your community and reward you for those impacts. So for the numbers, you might not get it, but you would have access to the Bloompod. So do well to register on the Bloompod. So someone was asking a question. I have a degree in animal science and my master's program is normally 2 years. Am I eligible to apply?
So we only award for a 1-year master's course. We cannot do 2 years or anything less than 1 year. It has to be 1 year only.
So that is a very straight answer. All right.
I saw a question about reference letters. Someone
Okay.
was asking about whether they can use the same reference letter. All these questions they're asking, honestly, they're on the FAQs on the Chevening website. I actually saw this question today when I was running through it. So for your reference letters, you can use it, but they would want to see that you've updated some bit of the information there. So you can reach out to your referees again and ask them to update little bits of your progress, since the time you submitted the initial reference letter. It's just the same way someone was saying, can we use the same essays we submitted 2 years ago? And I was saying that you need to highlight what the progress has been, the progression over the last 2 years. Even with your reference letter, it should reflect it.
Thank you so much. So someone said, does Chevening cover for PhD?
No, unfortunately, it's just for masters. I think there are other scholarships like the Commonwealth Scholarship. There are loads of them. You should be following our Chevening scholars. Couscous, Precious, AFM Stories. They've been interviewing different people from different universities that have had scholarships that are not Chevening. I'm not saying that you shouldn't apply for the Chevening scholarship, but sometimes you might not be eligible for this one. So reach out, to our Chevening scholars, reach out to alumni. They would be able to guide you and also point you in other directions that might be more appealing to you.
Thank you so much. Someone was asking a key question. He said, what is the cap fee for MBA students?
So the MBA course is very, very expensive, and that's why they have to put a cap on it. And that's why there is a limit to how much Chevening can spend for that particular course. So what happens is that you would have to now pay the balance. So that's why there's a cap. It's a lot more expensive than all the other courses. So it cannot be put in the same category.
Someone was asking, can you apply to top schools in the UK like the Oxford University, Cambridge University in the United Kingdom?
Precious, I think you should answer that. Is that listed on the website? If the university is listed on the website, then go ahead and apply.
Yeah, I think Chevening has a list of accredited schools that you
on
can
the
actually
website,
apply
so
to.
you have to check
Yeah.
them.
And
Check it
of
out.
course, we had scholars from Oxford in Nigeria, and I think Oxford, just basically Oxford, but in the entire cohort, we had people from Oxford, Cambridge universities, and Yeron. And we have lots of top schools that lots of scholars got accepted into. So if you apply to the schools and you got admission, of course, you can use those admissions to apply for Chevening. Chevening has a cap fee for each school. So if your school has above that particular fee that Chevening's cap fee is, you have to seek for extra funding to cover up your funding. I don't know if that's clear. Yeah, because we have a cap fee for every course, so for every school. So if Oxford, for instance, goes above Chevening's cap fee, you have to seek for external funding to cover those courses. So I think that's been answered. How can someone join the Bloom pod? Someone's asking that question. I think I'll answer that question, and I've answered it already. The link is on the chat box. You can actually click the link and apply to be part of the GDC mentee. And once you're part of the GDC mentee, we inculcate into the circle and then help you thrive in your professional career growth. It's very simple. It's not complicated. So just click on the link and apply to be part of the GDC network. We have lots of questions. I think we can't really take all these questions. Now, the key thing here is the website for Chevening is available for everyone. And the good thing is we had lots of scholars who has done incredible well to answer these key questions. And amazingly, we have these scholars as your mentors on this Bloom pod. And you can actually utilize their knowledge to your benefit. After that, you're going to be having couscous on board. Couscous, I think Claire has mentioned her name so well. She's been one of the most thriving scholars in UK. Her blog is really, really amazing. Through her blog, over 20 scholars got the Chevening Scholarship. You can imagine. And not just her, through also FM stories. AFM stories will be coming in subsequent time. So these are sections you would not want to miss because these scholars has been a crucial success to helping lots of scholars, not just in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, get the Chevening Award. So you would not want to miss their sections for anything. Do well to stay put to listen to them, and ask them your questions, follow them on their social media platforms, engage with them, and also get every necessary information you need to get from them. Thank you so much, Lai. I would not want to bore you with lots of questions. The slides will be shared.
I just wanted to say something, Precious. I was trying to say that probably the questions that haven't been answered, we can look at them after this session and then we can share them. You have all the email addresses. You can share the FAQs back with them.
Beautiful. So I'm
Thank
going to
you very
compile all
much.
the questions.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Yeah, and I will send them to you, and of course, you'll give us some key answers to those questions. And these answers or responses will be sent back to all the Bloom pods. So if you're not part of the Bloom pod, do go to register. We have 154 participants for this particular section. So of course, you want to have access to her slides. You want to have access to the questions that she's going to be answering, first-hand access. So do well to join the Bloom pod and do well to apply for the Chevening application.
Yes, please. We're waiting to see your applications.
Yeah, it goes live this August. So do well to actually put in those applications. Thank you so much, Laya. You've been such a wonderful guest, and I'm very happy to actually have you on board. Thank you so much for giving us this premium content. Like you can't get it from anywhere. You can imagine a whole Chevening program officer grace our section. Like we're so honored.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity and good luck, everyone. For those of you who would apply, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Lyle. Have a wonderful evening.
And you.
Hi everyone. So I believe that section was quite incredible. We got almost everything we needed to know from the Chevening application So if you still have lots of questions, do well. We have our email addresses, or you can still pop up your questions on the message button. Please do well to send those questions. They'll be answered. I'm so sorry we couldn't take all your questions. We have over 240 new messages or questions for Lio. But like Lio said, she's going to be answering those questions and reaching them. I'm going to be also reaching these questions or taking these questions back to you to get her own feedback. Thank you so much. And it is time for us to welcome our next guest and mentor. She is no other person than Couscous. I think Blessings are around, so she can actually read her profile for us before she begins.
Profile for Kusame. I would like that you send your questions for Lio to opportunities.bloompod@gmail.com. That way we can easily keep track of your questions and give appropriate response to it. Thank you.
Kusama Issa is a unique lawyer who sees beyond the conventional confines of legal practice, keen about conflict settlement through alternative dispute resolution. She is an advocate of ADR, and a member of the Chartered Institute of Mediators and Counselors of the Nigeria and Queen Mary University of London ADR Society, through which she gives full expression to her core passion of amicable resolution of disputes. As a first-class lawyer graduate, she had worked with top-tier law firms where she has engaged in dispute resolutions and corporate commercial legal advisory services. She also offers legal and policy advisory services to the Nigerian Government Forum, an association of all the 36 governors in Nigeria. Whoa, that's amazing. She is a 2020 Chevening Scholar and currently enrolled at the Queen Mary University of London, where she is currently studying comparative and international dispute resolution for an LLM. Her core research interest lies in international arbitration, negotiation strategies, mediation, and other ADR mechanisms for effective dispute resolution. She's also involved in career and education consulting. This informs her enthusiasm towards her enlightenment on her YouTube channel on career postgraduate studies, higher education, scholarships, and other relevant areas. She enjoys mentoring and have done this through different platforms across Nigeria and overseas. Mentees usually attest to receiving much clarity about her platform and expressing their visions and goals after each mentoring section. She's currently engaged with Queen Mary University Alumni Network as a Global Alumni Volunteer Officer. Please, I would like everyone to join me welcome Kuseme Ise for her section in the Bloompod mentoring scheme. Please do the hand of applause because I want to see those hands. Let's welcome Ise and Kuseme for this particular section. Welcome, Kuseme. Welcome. I can see them. Obed is welcoming you. Bakari is welcoming you. Uma is welcoming you. Can't wait to have you, Kuseme. So I'll have to unmute her and give her the podium. Thank you, Kuseme.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here, and it's a privilege to speak after Lio because Lio is like high up there and I'm down here. And just to have to speak after her, it's a big and a huge privilege. I listened to the session and I feel like, a lot of things she said I could relate. She talked about having writing your essays, having SMART goals. I actually have a video on how to set SMART goals on my channel. So in case you don't know what that means or you didn't really grasp what she was trying to say, go to my channel. I think I posted that video like a year ago and it's still applicable till today. So if you want to know how to set SMART goals for yourself, go look for that video on my channel. I've actually pasted my channel link in the chat box shortly before I started. So she also talked about why your leadership examples should be unique to you. It's not about defining leadership. I know that my session is about writing scholarship essays in general, but Chevening has a place in my heart. So whatever has to do with Chevening, always, just takes my interest. And then another very important point that Lio made was using STAR approach to write your essay. That is also very important, and I'm also going to share that. Okay, it's good to have everyone here. I am not going to be sharing any slides because I don't like talking to blank screens. So please, you can afford to put your videos on, but stay muted, okay? Stay muted. But you can put your videos on. Let me know I'm talking to people. Let me see your faces and your smiles. And let the chat box also be very interactive. I'm gonna just pin the chat box here beside me so I can see what is going on. Like I said, I am not going to be sharing any slide. I basically just took notes and I'm just going to be sharing with you guys. Feel free to connect or interact in the comment section. Drop your questions and I can answer them. And then I'll also be asking you guys questions so that I can also see in the comment section, because if I share my slides, I'll be looking at the screen and I don't like that. Okay. Basically, I'm going to be talking about how to write winning scholarship essays, whatever scholarship at all. Other scholarships, we have Commonwealth, even internal university scholarships. I have interviewed people because there's this myth that people have that, oh, I have to make a first class to get a scholarship. So what I do is when I see people who are, recipients of other scholarships, I bring them on board. Come on board, tell us, how did you do it? Let these people see that you didn't have two heads, so you can also make it. I interviewed my friend who is a Commonwealth shared scholar. You can have, that video. She broke down everything about the Commonwealth scholarship essay and how you go about it. Because most times you find out that we scholarship recipients, we apply to a lot of options, but one just clicked. So don't think that you're just going to wake up on 3rd August and apply to Chevening, and when you submit your application, you fold your arms and sit down and think you're done. You have not started. You are going to apply to like 3, 4, 5, 6, if not 10 scholarships. I interviewed someone on my channel who applied to 11 scholarships and she got one. And the fun fact is, no matter how much you apply, once you get one, you're going to forget about everything, all the suffer, all the stress. You're going to forget about it because you're definitely going to be sorted with just one option. But to have that one option, you have to, open yourself to different options. I mentored a lot of people for this last Chevening application, and some of them did not get it. When the essay outcome came out and some of them didn't get it, I told them, you know what? I applied to a lot of other scholarships. I started sending them opportunities for other platforms. And you know what? Like 3 or 4 of them who didn't make it for Chevening, they have scholarships now. They have Erasmus scholarships. They have Orange scholarships. That was because they applied to other ones. But if you fold your arms and sit down and think, oh, I am the best at what I do and Chevening should recognize me, be rest assured that Chevening has over 60,000 applications every year and they only take 1,500 candidates. And if you are not selected, it doesn't mean you're not good enough. It only means the funding did not. I don't like saying that, oh, I wasn't qualified. No, any scholarship I applied to that I did not get, the funding did not just reach me, period. And that's on period. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to get another one. I applied for Commonwealth shared scholarship. I didn't get it, but my friend got it. And I'm not going to say that we did, or our essays were so far apart. It was just because her profile, her essays met the Commonwealth, requirements more than mine did. Okay, that's why you have to open yourself up for more options. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking and then get straight into this session. I think I have about 45 minutes or to an hour. Feel free to drop your questions. If I say something you don't understand, drop it in the comment section. So I think I'm going to just divide this essay or my session into 3. I'm going to talk about the scholarship requirements. I'm going to talk about the essay itself. And then I'm going to just give you guys general tips on what to do to win. We are not guaranteeing you that you'll go there. If you do every single thing we have said, you're going to be selected. Nobody gives out that guarantee because we are not on the selection panel, but we are only sharing our story because We have been there before, and if you do what we have done, it's most likely that you will get there. But even if it doesn't work for you, please, we are not scammers. That's just a disclaimer. Let's get the session started. So I hope you all have your notes ready. Now, the first thing I want to say is you should identify scholarships, okay? Different scholarships have different requirements. Lyle talked about the Chevening Scholarship. You may be surprised that you pick up MasterCard Scholarship and you see that most of the things she talked about did not apply. That's because MasterCard Foundation Scholarship is a different scholarship and different requirements. So different scholarships have different requirements, okay? What you're going to do is identify maybe 4 or 5 scholarships, okay? I want to apply to this kind of scholarships. But before you are able to identify to the kind of scholarships that you fit in, you have to ask yourself, do I want to do a 1-year master's degree or a 2-year master's degree? If you want to do a 2-year master's degree, some scholarships will not apply to you. You cannot even bother applying to Chevening because Chevening will not answer you. Different scholarships have different requirements. So I want to study in US or Canada. I want to study in Europe. Okay, I have to first ask myself, what are the scholarships that fund candidates to these countries? When I'm done with that, I have to ask, how many years of program do I want? If you come to UK, generally their master's degree program is 1 year. But if you're the kind of person that wants to take your academics slow, maybe because you want to work while schooling, you know, 1-year master's degree is hectic. So if you like your life slow and steady, okay, you want to do, you know, part-time study and part-time work, then you know that you cannot apply to scholarships like Commonwealth and Chevening because they only fund full-time 1-year master's degree. But I know other scholarships like Erasmus, there are lots of other scholarships out there which can also meet your requirements. So the first thing for you to do is identify your, you know, the scholarship that you're willing to apply to. If you go online and just search scholarships in UK, you will see lots of websites. I don't have the links right now, but if you go to my channel and you click on the videos, I made a video about 5 scholarships for international students. I also made a video about 5 scholarships for Australia, Canada. If you go under those videos, you'll see I dropped some links to some websites that talk about scholarships, okay? They are basically opportunities website. I think one is Opportunities for Africa and a couple of others. I don't have the links right now. I'll probably give it to Precious to share with you guys, or you just check it out in my channel. When you visit these websites, you'll see lots of options. All you need to do is just click and check, oh, which one you know, can I identify with, which one do I think I meet the requirements and all of that. So that's the first thing you're going to do. And then when you identify the scholarships, for instance, you've identified 5 scholarships now. Let me know in the comment section if you know up to 5 scholarships, okay? We already know Commonwealth Scholarship. We already know Chevening. Please let me know the next one you have. I've mentioned 2 other scholarships. In fact, I have mentioned 3 other scholarships on this platform right now. Let me see the people that were listening. Type in the comment section any other scholarship outside Chevening and Commonwealth that we have talked about. Yes, somebody said Erasmus, somebody said MasterCard, good. Erasmus. I mentioned OKP, Orange Scholarship, great. That is it. Road Scholarship is there as well. You know, you guys even know scholarships more than me. You see, you cannot now be slacking and saying that you did not know, okay? You know. If you don't know, Google is your friend, okay? So that's it. We have all the scholarships. And I know people who are recipients of all of the scholarships you have mentioned. I know people who are recipients of all of them, okay? So we have now identified Chevening, Commonwealth, Orange. Hey, somebody has posted a list. I don't know what that is. Okay, so we have identified all these scholarships now. You now go, what are the requirements, okay? You will now check their essay requirements. What some scholarships do ask specific questions, others just ask general questions. I know that Chevening, Laya has talked about the specific questions that Chevening asks, okay? So what I said here was, you have to tailor your essay to meet the requirements of the scholarship, okay? We are going to use Commonwealth this time. Commonwealth has priority areas, and their priority areas are like 6. We have security, we have innovation, and a couple of other, you know, if you visit the FCDO, Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office website. If you visit their website, you're going to see their priority areas. And usually the questions they ask you falls under these 6 priority areas. They are going to ask you to probably express how your career plan meets this priority area. They're going to ask you to probably say something like, or answer how what you have been doing so far meets into either of these priority areas. So you cannot just hijack your essay that you've written for Commonwealth. You cannot come and submit it to Chevening, because that's not what Chevening is asking you. Chevening is asking you, the very first question, they're asking you to highlight how you have met their leadership requirements. They'll tell you something like, Chevening is looking for individuals who are able or capable, who are able to influence decisions, okay? Who are able to influence other people. Can you give examples of how you have been able to meet these requirements? Chevening is asking you for examples. They are not saying what is leadership. They are not saying how can you express leadership. They are asking you, give us examples of leadership that you have expressed, okay? You cannot hijack the draft you have prepared to answer Commonwealth questions to Chevening Scholarship, okay? Because Chevening asks you for specific examples. So what you're going to do is, while answering Chevening's leadership essay, you're going to say that, oh, you have been able to express different leadership, you have been able to, you know, assume different leadership opportunities or different leadership positions based on the following examples that you are going to give. And please, you cannot now say that, I know Tony Momo. Tony Momo is a former Chevening scholar and he is now a leader. Oh, this is why I think I can become a leader in Chevening. Who asked you for another person's example? They are asking you for your example. Please, Oga, what have you done? Take note, leadership is not about positions. Leadership is about impact. I heard Precious say this. I heard Lyle say this. A lot of people have said this. If you come to my channel, all my Chevening videos, I talk about this over and over again. Leadership is not the fact that I was the vice president of University Students Association. Would that one help? Please. So, if you, of course, being the head of something is a very good thing, but what did you use that position? What impact did you cause with that position? For instance, should I share my leadership example? I'm not going to share it because I already shared it on my channel. When I was prepping Chevening applicants for their interview last year, this year actually, because their interview was this year, and then the outcome came out last month. I did a 1-hour live session talking to them about this thing. So if you go to my channel and you navigate to live, I think that's the only live session I've done. And most times the feedback I've gotten from that live is quite incredible. And the thing is, most times people just submit their essays thinking, oh, I don't know if I can, I don't know that I will be selected. So they write their essays, and then when it's time for interview, they now come for a fresh new prep. That is interesting. That is good. But if you watch that live session now that I was talking about how to, scale through your interview, and you can now import those lessons into your essay, you're just simplifying the work for yourself, okay? Because if you're taking chances with your essay, what if you are eventually not invited? Because if you don't even scale through the essay part, then it's difficult. And the funny part, Commonwealth Shared Scholarship does not have interview. They judge you 100% on your essay. So you don't have to take any chances because, oh, I will have another chance to express myself. You will not. Some Erasmus scholarships are not, there's no interview. So what you have to do is use the opportunity of your essay to express yourself. So I have said this now, and I now said, stay within the question asked for the essay, okay? If they ask you, can you outline your short-term, because the way Chevening asks their career plan question, they say, can you outline your short and long-term career plan? That's one question for 500 words for Chevening. But in Commonwealth, there are 2 questions. Commonwealth first asks you for your short-term career plan, and then they now ask you for your long-term career plan. They still go ahead to ask you for your research plan. Like, when you get into school, what is your research proposal like? What is the plan? Do not go and say, oh, I already know this answer. You go and start writing. Oh, my short term, when I come back, I'm going to do this. In the long run, But that's 2 questions, sir, ma. You have to read the instructions. Make sure you restrict yourself to the answer, because by the time you start talking too much, even if you were making sense before, the person reviewing your essay is already turned off and like, oh, this person does not listen to instructions. And you know these things, so many applications, for instance, 60,000 people apply, and then we are looking for only 1,500 people. And they are probably going to give me, I'm not a panelist. I don't review Chevening essays. I don't review scholarship essays, but human beings review these things and not computers. The best a computer can do or AI can do for them is to, search people and eliminate people who do not automatically meet the eligibility requirements. But once you meet the eligibility requirement, your essay is going straight to an individual. And these people have marking scheme, okay? If because I've been talking about Chevening a lot on my channel, if I am now emailed to say, customer, could you participate in reviewing this year's essay? Of course, I'll say yes. And then I'm not going to just come and review the essay based on what I like and what I do. They're going to give me a marking scheme, and I'm going to sign a confidentiality agreement or whatever agreements there out there that I must abide to the marking scheme. No favor, nothing. And then I'm not just the only person that will review that essay. About 2 to 3 people will review that essay. So whatever decision or whatever outcome I present at the end of marking the essay, another person has to see that is in line, okay, with the instructions. So imagine that I see a question. The question says, outline your short-term career plan once you return from your postgraduate studies. 500 words or 200 words. And I already know that the next question is outline your long-term career plan. And I'm seeing that you said 2 lines about your short-term and you jump straight to the long-term without even checking to confirm that these are 2 separate questions. I would just think that you are unserious, because in my mind, I'm like, if you're not serious enough to be attentive to apply for a a globally, a global scholarship like this, then you're not serious, okay? Maybe you were distracted, maybe you have other options and it's not as important to you as people that took their time to obey instructions. So please stay within the boundaries. If they're asking you for leadership essay or leadership examples, provide leadership examples, because the fact is you will always have the time to express yourself in other questions. Hey God, 20 minutes gone. Guys, are you getting my point in the comment section? Let me know so that I can move forward. Okay, so now let's go. I've talked about that's the scholarship requirements now. How you can know the scholarship requirements is just go to the scholarship website, read the eligibility requirements, read their ideal candidates. If you go to Chevening, I always use Chevening because I'm a Chevening scholar. If you go to Chevening eligibility requirement, now you'll see them say, our ideal candidate is a leader. They might not use my words, but I'm just saying, our ideal candidate is a leader, is passionate, is driven to cause a change in their field, is a people person, is an impact maker, things like that. Ask yourself, do I see myself? Are these eligibility requirements mirroring me? If they are not mirroring you, please take a back seat. Ask yourself again, how can I then transform myself to mirror this eligibility requirement? When you are done with that, ask yourself, how long do I have to get these requirements on board? How long can I transform myself to meet this requirement? For instance, Chevening is opening on 3rd August, and then they're asking you for leadership examples, they're asking you for networking examples, and you look back, you cannot mirror the eligibility requirements. Is 2 months enough? In fact, 3rd August is a month away or less. Oh my God, it's 2 weeks away. Ask yourself, do I have, or is 2 weeks enough for me to meet this requirement? If you tell yourself the truth, okay? Because I can come here, motivate you, fan you up and down. If you lie to yourself, you are doing yourself. Now, ask yourself, how long will it take me to meet Chevening eligibility requirements? Okay, Chevening is opening in 2 weeks and truly I cannot meet this requirement. Okay, which other scholarship is opening? Okay, these other scholarships, maybe some scholarships have a longer application deadline. You say, can I meet that? If you can't, do you know that 1 year is not far? Do you know that I came to UK September last year? I can look back and remember every single thing that happened when I came. It is not even, I don't even feel like it's up to a year yet. By August ending, I'm rounding up my program. So if you say to yourself, oh, I don't meet this requirement, but I have to submit this application because I must go to school this year. I must go to school this year. Uncle, you are going to submit the application, you will not make it, and 1 year will still come, and you still reapply. So why waste your energy? Why don't you use that 1 year and say, okay, I'm going to use the first 3 months to meet my leadership requirements. I'm going to use the second 3 months to meet my networking requirements. I'm going to use the next 3 months to meet. By the time, 6 months is over, you have gathered your eligibility requirements and you are able, and then you now go overboard to do extra. You're not ready for them. You will now answer those questions. You will now tailor it, write your story, give them those cogent examples, and you will now even forward it to Bloompod. Bloompod, I am ready with fire. Can you edit this essay for me? And then they will look at it and say, okay, do this, do that. And then by that time you're ready. Because you know what? A lot of people who do not scale through scholarship applications feel that they were overqualified. But when the outcome comes, they are very frustrated. They are disappointed. They'll be like, oh my God, I felt like I did this. I felt like I did that. How much more you who didn't do? So be rest assured that although you can meet the eligibility requirements, it is not a guarantee you'll be selected, but then you still have to meet the eligibility requirements and go overboard. Somebody has asked a question, kindly talk about the work experience because if we that recently completed our undergraduate program, but have done a bit of work. Yeah, well, the work experience is peculiar to each scholarship, but I must tell you that work experience is calculated per hour, okay? It is not about was your work full-time or not. You can be a student and you were still doing internships. Those are work experiences. I've already done a video calculating, talking about how you can calculate work experience. If you were in NYSC or if you were in school and you did volunteer work, that's work experience. You did internships, that's work experience. NYSC, it's full year, like full-time 1 year work experience. So that is it. I love your vibes and charity and the way you are so down to earth. I really, really want to learn from you. Please learn. There is no need to pretend because sometimes you come, you act like you're high up there. We are just people like you. We only adhere to instructions. We only were able to align ourselves to meet the requirements of these specific scholarships. That's why we were selected. So that means you can also do it because for you to be on this platform, you are ready to learn, okay? And I wish all of you the best. So talking about the essay, we're talking about now how you should write this essay in particular, okay? The first one was how you should prepare for the essay. The second one is how you should write this essay. The first point I have here is develop a narrative for your essay, okay? Develop a narrative such that no matter how many questions you are asked, it has a flow, okay? Don't say in example number 1 that you're an entrepreneur. Example number 2, I'm a musician. Example number 3, in fact, I run a mentorship project. Yes, those things are relevant, but do not confuse the reader now. Because the person will now be finding you, in the second essay, the person will be finding you. Where is the person in the first essay? So please let your story have a plot, a narrative, such that the person can connect the dots, okay? If you're giving a narrative, you're probably starting from the most recent to the following ones like that, such that the person can connect all the dots. Tell your story in a unique way. Like has already said you should use a STAR approach. If you're giving an example, okay, you're giving a leadership example, they're asking you, tell us about a time where you displayed your leadership capacity. You're going to use a STAR approach for you not to talk too much. This will help you guide it, stay within the answer. Oh, situation, this happened. Task, this was meant to happen. Action, this is what I did. Results, this was the outcome. Okay, let me share an example of a leadership experience. Okay, I love this example because I basically use this example in my Chevening essay, but you don't have to use mine because you have to tell your story. But the only way I can make you guys understand this is this. Okay, so the situation was for me, when I went to Nigerian law school, people from my university didn't make first class. There was nobody from my university, my undergraduate degree, that had graduated with a first class from Nigerian law school. But people from other schools like Unilag, UI, you and then they were graduating with first class, but people from my uni didn't graduate with first class. And that was a problem for us back at home, because our lecturers used to, just keep talking about how disappointed they are and how they cannot give us first class in undergrad degree because they don't want to give us first class, and then we go to law school and we cannot prove it. We now come out with a pass or a lower grade. So that was a problem. And then what was the tax? The tax was for someone to break the record, okay? Well, the tax was for someone to make a first class, basically. This is a very easy example, and it applies across board. You're just going to use the STAR approach. And then what was the action? The action was that I went to law school and I broke the record. What was the result? The result was that the following year, because immediately I came out of law school and I broke that record, myself and my colleague, because we were two. This was how my YouTube channel came about. I started mentoring people. People that were going to law school. I started talking to them, mentoring them, how to go about it, what I did that led me to make a first class. And the impact, the result was that the following law school result, 5 people from my university made a first class. That is impact. More people made first class across law school because I used to, share my videos. They used to share my videos across board, where I'll be sharing tips, law school tips. I was clarifying issues that were confusing, telling them how to answer their questions, how to save time. And I used to get really lots of feedback. So that year, a lot of people had first class from law school. But why I narrowed it down to 5 people was because the 5 were from my alma mater who, there was no first class at all. So that was impact. That was result. I was able to influence people. I was able to cause a change. And this, from that year onward till today, there is no year gone by in law school that people don't make, first class. Because when people reach out to me, I tell them, oh, okay, I graduated a long time ago, but I know somebody in the last set who made a first class. So I link you up with them, and then the trend continues. That is an example of leadership. Did I have to hold any position to do that? No. Was I appointed for anything? No. I use my voice, I use my platform to cause a change, and that is leadership. You can adapt that to networking, to any other questions you are being asked, because that helps you stay on track and helps you see that, know that you're not talking too much and you are making the most relevant points that they're looking for, because they are looking for those results. Okay, you are president of this. What have you done so far? How has it impacted people? Who have you helped? What situation have you changed? What problem have you solved? That's what they're looking for. That's how you use that approach. And then I said, include real life examples. I have given you an example. I did not say my lecturers taught very well and we came out with first class. That is my lecturer's leadership example, because he's a good leader. He influenced me. They are asking me, how did I influence other people? And the funny part is that most scholarship essays, no matter how they ask the question, either way, even if they're asking you 12 questions, either way, you would always find leadership and impact in it, because they want to spend their money on people who are going to cause a change. Okay, they don't want to spend their money on people who are selfish. Imagine what Precious is doing. Chevening is funding Precious. Precious has organized this platform and is doing this for you guys. She is causing a change. Imagine what I have done with my platform. Chevening gave me scholarship. I have been talking about Chevening. Hey, if you go to my YouTube, you would see lots of information I have provided just to help people. Those are the kind of people that scholarship organizations look for. Your own might be different. It might be that you are a teacher and you are really you are teaching in a different way, so that your students, the kind of feedback you get from your students is different from other people. You come down to their level and you try to ensure that each person understands to a great extent. You might be a service provider. How do you interact with your audience? How has your service solved a problem in that industry? It might not be a big business. It might be a small business, but you are solving problem with that your service. So how are you doing it? That's how you express. That's why I'm saying use real life examples. The funny part is people always think that, oh, it has to be something very big. When I submitted my essay, I didn't even know they would look at it twice, because I felt like, it's not good enough. It's not big enough. But you know what? They are looking for that unique story. They are not looking for people who come there to brag. No, because the thing is, each of us can cause a change in our very little corner. You don't need to have money, a lot of money. You don't need to have a lot of platform to cause a change. Even with your neighbor, you can impact your neighbor positively. So imagine you share a story about how your neighborhood, you have seen people sleeping on the streets, okay? And you took an initiative. Maybe you organized people in your neighborhood to probably make some donations, or you took those people to a daycare center, a place where they can stay. You are doing it on your own, in your own capacity. It is impact. Don't belittle it. Allow the person reviewing your essay to say, this one is not good enough, but present it. Now, you're going to present that your example in the best possible way, okay? And I said, include statistics and figures. Now, when they ask me about the problem in my field, why I am so, you heard Precious say, I am passionate about alternative dispute resolution, that is ADR. They ask me, why are you so passionate? What is the problem in this your industry that you want to solve? I did not just start saying, oh, we need alternative dispute resolution because the Nigerian courts are not working so well. The justice system is backward. Of course, that is true, but those are general statements. I started with, and this tip, I had written my essay without including this tip. It was a scholar who gave me the tip, like do this, do that, when he reviewed my essay. He told me to include figures and statistics. So what did I do? I went searching. I started saying some things like, over 7 million people. I used cogent research data, okay? I went researching. So I had the facts, so such that when they go looking for it, they will find it and they will see that it is correct. So, okay, we have had over 7 million people affected by violence in Nigeria, the Boko Haram, the herdsmen conflict, the this and the that, the Nigerian courts. These are the statistics of cases that go to court on an annual basis. And at the end of the year, this is the percentage that are resolved. People are not happy. People are aggrieved. We need other ways of resolving disputes. We need other ways of resolving conflict, because the more people have conflicts and cannot get justice in court, the more aggrieved they become, the more they want to, take out violence on others and take the law into their hands. I was so passionate that I included figures and statistics so that when you're reading my essay, you know that, she knows what she's talking about. So make sure you always use statistics and data to include, to support your point, whatever you're making, the point you're making in your essay. I've neglected this chat point. So, okay. Okay. Please give us a recording of the lecture. Of course, Bloompod is going to give you the recording, and then other videos are on my YouTube channel. So I said include statistics and figures. I said do not use open and general statements. Be specific and deliberate. Yes, we know that there's no justice in Nigeria. We know that the courts are not so effective, but why are they not effective? Am I going to, if you say something in your essay and I go on the internet to start typing, will I see the same kind of buzzwords? Oh, and the economy is slow, there is injustice. They are general words, and we know that. What is unique to you? What story are you trying to tell us? Narrow it, make it unique, make it specific to you. Use figures. And I said edit, reviews, no errors are allowed, okay? No errors are allowed. The thing is, when you write the first time, or when you are working on a particular document over and over again, your eyes are used to it such that you may not be able to recognize errors. But when you leave that document for like 2 days and come back when your mind is fresh and you look at that document, you're going to ask yourself, am I the one who wrote this sentence? Because you will see so many errors that will not make sense to you. So the only way you can properly review your documents is write, like your eyes are used to it, dump it for some days, leave it aside for some days, which is why you have to start your essays on time. You cannot wait till the closing date, 3rd November. You now start your essay by that weekend and you think you're going to spot errors. You're not going to spot errors because you'll be so tense. But if you start writing your essays on time, you're going to be able to spot the errors. You keep it aside for some days, and then you spot the errors, and then you correct it, okay? Give your essays to people to also review. You cannot submit a scholarship essay without giving it to that party, like a scholar, a former scholar to review. Do not give me a Commonwealth scholarship to review, because I am not a Commonwealth scholar, because I applied for Commonwealth and I didn't go through. That means there's something didn't go right with my essay. Look for a Commonwealth scholar to review your essay. Give a Chevening scholar your Chevening essay to review. That way, they don't import rules from other essays to bind you, which may not be the case, okay? You can't hear anything. Well, I don't think that's my fault. One thing I have to say, Laya said something about plagiarism. She said, do not copy, because they have a software that they put in these things and they find out if the words are yours or copied. If you even want to come and do a master's degree in UK, that's where you should start, because these people do not permit plagiarism in any form. And the funny part is, I didn't know when I was writing my essay. I didn't know, but God so blessed me that I didn't copy. And when I was writing my essay, I was just telling a story. I was just typing on my own. And then when I sent it to somebody to review, the guy asked me to add statistics. And when I was adding those statistics, I mentioned the platform that I got the statistics. Research data from so and so platform states as follows. Reference, reference, reference. If you have to import facts from anywhere, make sure you reference and make sure you ensure that these facts are genuine and from reliable research platforms, okay? If you see a data or facts from FCDO platform, UK in Nigeria platform, you know that they are verified information, so you can use that and you reference. So avoid copying things from the internet and pasting in your essay. They will find out and they will take you out fast by the snap of your finger. Oh God, please let me know if you guys are following. If I'm talking too fast, let me know. Is there anything I have said so far that you do not understand? Please let me know, because it's not about just talking. It's about impact. It's about what I've been saying. Are you guys understanding? Okay, if you don't understand, I can clarify. Okay, I'm on point. You're making sense. That's what I want to hear. Now let's go over to the third. I'm not like I said, I'm not going to be able to share everything. I'm already sweating because, man, I've been talking for straight 30 minutes. Man, this is a lot of work. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share I told you that I divided this session into 3. I have done the first and the second part. I'm going to share the last part, which is, tips and housekeeping tips for you to do. And then if you have any more questions, you can always ask it in the comment section to my channel, my social media. And then I also consult on a personal basis, because I cannot be offering all this free information and you still come to be disturbing me, to be asking me the same things I have said over and over again. So I'm going to charge you if you do that. And it's not so much. I have paid for people to mentor me. Before I submitted my essay, before I had that clarity, I had to get like a 3-hour mentorship with a career coach. He mentored me, he drained me, he made me start thinking about who I was, the essence of what I was doing, and how I want to go about my life, which gave me the drive to be able to write that essay without having to go on social media to search for anything until I was done telling my story. And then I could now import statistics and facts. So first of all, you need to have it inside you before you can pour, because the Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. If you don't have it in there, you're not going to write anything. That's why you see essays that are so general and they're just copying and pasting from everywhere, and you're just tired of reading it. I usually tell people, when you write your essay, when I read your essay, let me want to meet you in person, okay? Because it's very difficult to convince someone when you are writing. So if you are able to do that, it is easier for you to be, selected for interview. If I read your essay and I can feel your passion, I can feel your drive, I can feel your sense of urgency to resolve this issue, I say, this guy is passionate. No, he needs to come and tell us more in the interview. And then for the essays, for the scholarships that do not have interviews, the people, you have to just show yourself, because that's all they are going to grade you on, okay? Some housekeeping tips. I said, do a self-appraisal. What have you done towards impact? Okay, like I already made this statement that so many of us think it has to be so much, it has to be so huge, you must have built a house for someone. No, whatever you think you have done in your own way, look at it, okay? And then ask yourself, how far can how did I come about this? What was the problem? What was the solution? What did I do to make a change? How did I change a thing from the negative to the positive? It might not be 100%, but at least to some extent, okay? And then I said, express who you are in the best possible way. So somebody has been talking about networking. I'm going to use this networking example to explain this point. We may have done things, but we don't know how to express it well, okay? So When I wrote my networking essay, it wasn't so good. So when I took it to a Chevening scholar, she said, this essay is not good enough. It doesn't really meet the networking requirements. She started asking me questions. What have you done about networking? How have you interacted with people? How have you, helped people positively? Or how have you used your network to cause a change, to cause a positive change? How have you derived positive satisfaction from your network? I started thinking, hey, I don't think I have any networking examples. She said, every one of us have utilized our networks for something, whether it is your family members, whether it is your church members, your organization members, your faculty members, your lecturers, your friends. You have posted a status. Oh, this person needs to go to school. Can you help to contribute to this GoFundMe? You don't know that that's networking. You don't know that you are trying to influence your network to do something good for another person. I now sat down. I asked myself, what's my networking example? And then I now remembered that, I went for one training one day in Lagos. And then in the training, my flatmate in that camp, I went for a boot camp. So I had a flatmate. My flatmate told me that she was a nutritionist. We talked about it, our career and everything. And she talked about how she would like to work in an organization, in an NGO to continue to develop nutrition policies in Nigeria. Okay, I knew that that's what she wanted, and it was good. I knew we became friends, and I knew what she wanted. Now, I went back to work, and in my organization, I work in a non-profit firm, and we do different projects. Okay, I'm a lawyer, and I'm in the legal unit. But when you are interacting with other people, you get to know what they're doing. And as a lawyer, I get to review project documents and the contract. Now, the project coordinator in health department sent me a document to review, and it was a nutrition project document. We have a doctor in my office, but we do not have a nutritionist. So we kept on, I will review this document, I'll send it to him, and then he'll send it to the organization, and they'll ask another thing. He does not know, me, I don't know, but we need to get this document sorted. So we kept on going back and forth, and it was like, I just wish there was a nutritionist in this office. All this problem would not have been. We wouldn't have to go back and forth. I was like, are you sure you need a nutritionist? He said, yes, if we really need a nutritionist. And I'm like, okay, I have a nutritionist friend. She was working in a university teaching hospital in Ibadan that time. I said, I have a friend who is a nutritionist, but I'm going to ask her if there's a way she can help, because I know she's busy, but I'll ask. That was towards the end of the year. So I spoke to my friend, and then she told me that, I'm busy at the moment, but I will be free from January, because that was around November of a year. So she told me, I'm busy at the moment, but I'll be free from January. So if they can, if they can wait till January, I can come on board. I can come over to Abuja to help them. Otherwise, I can start working remotely while the year runs out, and then at the end of the year, I will come. And then I told them that they were very excited. She came on board, and this project picked up like nothing. In fact, by the time I was writing my essay, that project had finished. No, it wasn't my essay. I used the example for my interview. So by the time I was preparing for that interview, the project that was dragging in my office because there was no nutritionist had even come. They were already writing their final report, because she came on board and she, made something good out of what was dragging. And then I told this lady my example. She was like, that is one of the best networking examples I have ever heard. And I'm like, so how should I write it now? She said, this is the problem. There are examples, but you do not know how to present it. So in trying to represent this example, I just shared with you guys how it happened. Okay. Now, when I was answering this example in my interview, I had to make it professional. Okay. It was simple to me because it was my friend, but it was still my network that I used. She's my network. She's someone in my network because she's my friend. And I was able to bring her on board to change something, to impact other people, to help others solve problems. So that's how you utilize your network. And when she told me that I have to, put it very well, this strengthens the point I'm saying. I said, express who you are in the best possible form. Because I might be telling Precious this example I'm telling you, and I'm just gisting. Do you remember that my friend in Lagos that I met? She's even now working in my organization, and we laugh of it. But that's not how you're going to write it down. You are going to say, oh, I have this. A most recent networking example was when I was able to, invite a professional who is a nutritionist to come on board with my organization. Ordinarily, my organization would not have been able to reach her because she was very engaged at that point. But because she was in my network and I was able to reach her, I could influence her to change her decision and to fix this project into her schedule. You get the point now. Let me know if you are getting the point. That person that was shouting, talking. Let me know if you get the point now. Okay? In the about the networking example. I have less than 10 minutes to go. Let me know if you get the point in the networking example, and I'm going to just wrap up. So I said, focus on leadership, problem solving, impact, and results. I have shared all of this. Okay? I said, get your essays reviewed by past scholars. I said, be ready to modify your story to suit each application. Do not copy and paste your essay application. Copy the same application essay you wrote for Chevening. You copy and paste in Commonwealth, copy and paste in OKP, copy and paste in Masterclass. Now, because you are not being peculiar, you're not being unique, you're not being like deliberate about that application. Okay? Promise says I have a long way to go. You do not have a long way to go. What I said is sit back, do your self-appraisal. And then if you think you have a long way to go, there is still time, okay? Even if you don't meet up this year, you can meet. Next year is not far. The funny part is that if you are looking to come to school by September 2022, you should start writing your applications now. In fact, if you are going September 2023, start your research, start gathering your qualification and making sure that you have met those requirements so that when the time comes, you don't start running helter and skelter. Get your transcripts, get your documents. There's even no age limit. Some scholarships do not give age limit, okay? Chevening does not have age limit. This year, a 60-year-old woman got Chevening Scholarship. So that's it. And then I said, get ready to make multiple applications until you get the scholarship that you desire. I applied to about 7 scholarships and I modified my application. Every time I was writing my scholarship essay, I kept the requirements by the side like this and I was writing. When I write one sentence or one paragraph, I ask myself, which of these requirements does that paragraph fit into? If it doesn't, take it out because it's a waste of words, okay? So you have to keep modifying, keep motivating yourself, looking for opportunities, keep utilizing the opportunities because the more opportunities you open yourself to, the more options you have, okay? And I said, start saving up for some professional help if need be. I told you guys that before I wrote my essay, I went for professional coaching, okay? If you sit back and you cannot really, figure out your life, get help, get professional help, pay for it if need be. I paid for it and that money pained me, but it's no longer paining me now because it paid off. Because I don't know I was so confused when I saw the Chevening questions. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't even know what I wanted for myself. And then I got this professional help. By the time I came out of that meeting, I was so pumped up. I was so clear that I was like, it seemed like they just took off, a veil from my eyes. I was so clear. I got so much clarity that I started writing and I got I'm here where I am today. So that money that I paid, it cost me a lot, but it was worth it. So if you need to seek professional help, seek professional help and also keep money. The fact that Chevening is a fully funded scholarship does not mean that I didn't have to spend money. You would have to get yourself ready. You would have to buy laptops when need be. You would have to, change your wardrobe. You would need money. You have to apply for your transcript. That's money. You would have to apply for your international passport. That's money. So you need to save up. Start getting your mind in the mood, okay? And then you will just put all these things into consideration. I have talked so much. I am sweating even in the... So guys, I'm done for this session. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know your take home. Let me know the most important take home you have taken from this session, if not for any other thing, even if it's one thing, okay? I'm already spending on data. You are correct. Because I know how difficult it is to buy data in Nigeria. I used to buy data and it was one of the most painful experiences for me. So yes, you're buying data, you're sitting down and watching, you are taking notes. That is an investment that you can, you would reap later in future, okay? I usually call in on a radio station to report situations so they can announce and call on the relevant offices to address situations. Example, bad lights, bad transformer, dead body. Oh my God, this is awesome. Can I use this as networking? It can go either ways, networking or leadership. Leadership because you are effecting a change. Nobody sent you, but you on your own decided to inform the right authority that this problem exists so they can come and resolve it. That's leadership. How is it networking? Networking because you are able to connect with the right source in the radio station who is also connecting with the right source in the platform. That is interconnected networking. Like, seriously, that you cannot belittle that example, because how many people do it? How many people will even help their neighbors? So for you to do that on your own initiative is a lot. So that is it. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sure that Precious is looking at me with side eye like this. This woman, you don't want to stop talking. Do you think this is your YouTube channel? Follow me on YouTube to enjoy more of this, guys. Awesome. Well done, Kiss. Thank you. Very instructive session. I'm glad you enjoyed it. My take home, identify scholarships. Yeah, a lot of take home. So I'm going to sign out now. Sorry, guys. I hope that you got a lot to learn, and it's been a whole session. So just do that, take notes, and if you have any questions, always ask questions. You can never go wrong asking questions. Okay, I will sign out now. Thank you, guys. Follow me on social media. Instagram is I am Couscous. YouTube is Kuseme Ise, and LinkedIn is Kuseme Ise as well. And if you want to reach me for my services, I have the link in my Instagram. All you need to do is just click the link and you can access all my platforms, all my services. So bye, guys. Bye. Thank you so much for the interaction in the comment section. I love it because it kept me going. Imagine I had slides on, it would be so boring. Bye.
Thank you so much, Couscous. Like, it has been really amazing having you. When you were actually giving lots of those tips, I could just tell a lot of persons who attended the first session will be like, exactly. She's really connecting those dots. She's just hitting the points that has been said, and also making sure that those points reach the right network, reach the right codes for everyone. Thank you so much, Couscous. I told you guys that Couscous is a scholar per excellence. Like, she first class, so why for who no get first class in graduate achievement? But then that's not it. Everyone actually can make it for achievement, regardless what grade you finish with. Be it a 2-2, a first class, a 2-1.
5,005.
The most important thing is how much of an impact have you been able to generate over time. And beautiful, if you can remember our first section where we talked about keeping out your professional track record. We spoke about actually effecting changes in your community. Those things count a lot, right? So for you to tell these stories about your leadership, your networking, your career plan, you must have done things. You must have connected those dots in the past that would help you tell those stories. It's really important. And I'm glad Layo emphasized on that so well from the horse's mouth. And also, Couscous also reiterated on those points also. She gave key bullet points. And I'm so glad the section was really engaging. And without so much, wasting so much time, it's already a few minutes to 7 o'clock. I would like us to actually follow Couscous. I already shared her social media platforms. And the good thing here is Couscous is a Bloompod mentor. She would be actually working with mentees to actually make sure they come out with strong essay questions. So it's time for everyone who has not started drafting their application to start writing those applications. I've dropped the link to over 100 scholarships in the Bloompod mentorship WhatsApp group. I would advise everyone to take out time and start reviewing those eligibility criteria and start ticking at least 10 scholarships to apply to. 10 scholarships to apply to is really important because like she said, the probability of you getting into one might be very competitive and you don't want to actually leave everything to chance. Yeah, you want to actually have an edge over various applications. So if you might not get Chevening this year, you might get Erasmus, you might get Orange, you might get the Australian scholarship, right? And that is why we are encouraging everyone who actually has been part of this section even though you're not yet a Bloompod mentee, if you're listening to us, if you're participating in this section, begin now to start applying or gathering the key eligibility criteria, your essays ready. Because once the application platform or portal opens, we will start reviewing candidates. And like I said, our mentors are here to give you 100% to everything you are doing. Now, we want you as scholars to give in your own 100%. So if our mentors are really taking out their time from their busy school schedules, dissertation. Currently, we are writing our dissertations and we all have deadlines for September. And you can imagine we squeezing out the little time we have to share it with the Bloompod mentors and mentees. We want every Bloompod mentee to take this very serious, because when we start sharing these opportunities, reviewing the essays, we would actually work based on first come first serve. We have limit to what we can actually collect, and once we reach that bank, we will stop collecting application reviews. Please do well to start out now immediately and start writing your essays. So some applications, like Kuskus already said, some of them might not actually invite you for interviews. Some might just depend on what you write. That is why we will be working with you. We have been there, and I think we can say, or we can boast, we have let's say, if not a first hand, at least we have a measurable hand approach to answering key questions. We already know what organizations want. We already know how to tell these stories, and I think you could leverage on our wealth of knowledge and experience to actually grow yours. Our goal for the Bloompod to ensure that 80% of mentees actually get access to funding opportunities for their postgraduate degree. And for those of you who are really applying for short courses, like I said, we already have links already. Do well to check if those links cover your own field. If they do not meet your own field, do well to reach out to us. Precious J is also on this call, and do take action via our email address and tell us what is missing out. We want to hear that. We want to hear, oh, I'm looking out for an internship program. I can't find internship opportunities on the already collated scholarship link and access document. Or you're looking out for PhD opportunities. Of course, our key focus is for postgraduate scholarship, but then we can actually give you access to other opportunities like PhD opportunities, short course opportunities, internship opportunities. We are also very available because we have a vast team who also comprises of those who have secured PhD opportunity. In August, sometime in August, we're going to having a key mentor who has bagged or has supported over 30 people get PhD opportunities, and over 50 persons. I think I'm on a playing his record. He will tell you his story himself when he comes on board. He has helped lots of people get both PhD opportunities and postgraduate opportunities. So do well to keep engaging in our subsequent section. And I'm glad that all sections we've had so far from yesterday to today has been super, super premium content. For all our guests, do well to follow them. This is the same networking we're all talking about. How well can you work with? Oh, Kusama is into, she has talked about her ADR passion in conflict and resolution. How well can you even add your own expertise? Oh, you know what? I have interest in security. Someone on the Bloompod yesterday spoke about his interest. That was Emmanuel, if I'm not mistaken. Spoke about his interest in the security force. How about she working with Kusama? So, oh, Kusama, you know what? I would like to have you speak to a group of police officers, enlighten them on approaches to adhere to conflict resolution and policies that could help the Police Reform Act and all of that. She's an expert in that regard. You can imagine him working with Kusame to actually carry out those trainings. These are stories you can tell children, and these are verbal stories that can fly not just to children, but to numerous scholarship body. Like I said, they want to hear your stories. Don't hear not just stories, data influenced stories. I'm so happy Couscous reiterated that everyone has a story to tell. If you meet a small child in the field outside, they always have a story to tell. You have a story to tell. The question is, What makes your story stand out? And that is what Chevening is looking out for. Exceptional youth, exceptional people, not just youth, young and old, who are exceptional in their field and are causing change. I am glad we announced a challenge, a 3-month challenge. I want everyone to jump on that challenge, even though you are a Bloomford member or just joining for the first time. Please do well to join the challenge. The challenge is going to be posted on our Do platform. If you're not following Do yet, you're mistaken. Like, you need to start following Do right now so you can get access to all this premium content. Some key nuggets from our various sections will be posted on these platforms for 3 months, and this is the time for you to actually make use of these key information. Information is key, it's life, and that is why a lot of persons pay to get this information. But this information is coming to you for free, because this is our own way of giving back. It's our own way of showing our own leadership skills or grooming our leadership skills. Like I said, we all have not arrived. We are just scholars who was opportune to cling towards a first class or a world class opportunity. And we are always learning. That is why we keep on involving in different projects and platforms to ensure our skills are continuously developed. Once you stop developing your skills, you stop being productive. So if you've actually built a very strong reputation in terms of your professional track record, continue developing it. Don't stop here, please. Thank you so much to everyone. I think we're going to be calling this the end. Blessing is yet to actually join this particular section. Also, I think we have answered key questions that have been raised. If you still have more questions to ask, okay, someone is asking, how do I join the Bloompod platform? Precious J, please kindly share the link so anyone who really wants to be part of the Bloompod platform can use the link to apply. I'll just give a little summary about what Do is and what the Bloompod really is. So in a nutshell, Do is actually a group or a community of young and old people, right? Taking action to drive sustainable development in their communities. I spoke about this yesterday, wherein I said, for every young person, young and old person to thrive, your goal must be connected or linked to a broader goal. And that is why, as an organization, our key influencing goal is the SDG goals. We are looking forward to ensure with our network, we are building a community of people that have passion, and not just passion, are ready to take action to solve SDG goals in their community. So if you're yet to actually pick up a problem in your community, see how it aligns to the SDG goals. Because at the core of every organization who is looking out to fund scholars, they're looking out to see people who are actively involved in solving global goals. Because we have a projection that says by 2030, the SDG is meant to meet up its targets goals. And for those people who are really influential in helping the UN organization meet these goals, will be rewarded. You could be rewarded with different opportunities. Please do well to align your goals to the SDG goals. Very important. If you actually miss anything, do not miss that, because they also fit into your bigger picture as a person. We have said a whole lot. We have given out a lot of information today. I'm just trying to just do recap for those who are just joining, or those who joined and had different issues with network and all of that. Thank you so much also for joining for this section. The Bloompod link has been posted. Now, please do not forget, right? We do not just ask you to go to your community and execute projects. No. Do is there every step of the way for every GDC. Now, most GDC who has actually carried out a project to attest to the fact that Do was with them every step of the way, from providing them with necessary resources. Of course, you also have your own role to play. We support your role that you play in your community. All we seek for is people with passion. We're looking out for young and old people who have passion to cause change. Once you have passion to cause change in your community, we will work with you full time. So for those of you who is going to be jumping on the challenge for 3 months, we are there to support you. Do not carry out projects in silos, right? We'll be working with you to drive key projects that align to your 5-year goal. Remember, Kusku said something, you don't tell different stories. It brings confusion to your examiner or your marker. You must tell a consistent story. It's a journey, right? You can't be watching a movie and then the next thing you see, you're seeing a cartoon. And the next thing you're seeing a scientific film, movie. It's confusing. So every story follows a pattern, not just a pattern, but a growth pattern, a sustainable pattern. You did this year or this month. The next month, how did you apply the lessons you've learned from the first month in the next project? How did that lessons you learned influence your new leadership skills? Because you are always growing every day. These are the growth process that are always very visible in storytelling. I would not really say so, but I want to give one interesting story I told Chevening while I was applying for my own scholarship. I said from this particular story how I actually joined a network which is called JCI, and as a novice, I was not really passionate about change. I just felt, oh, I needed to carry out project because I feel making the community interesting and good enough solves bigger problems. But while I was carrying out this project, I saw that I was building my leadership skills. But in that process, I made lots of mistakes. I wasn't able to lead change in my community because I mismanaged my team. Now, the beauty thing about children is don't be afraid to tell your failures, right? But how you tell your failures would serve as strength in the end. So first, I said from a place of weakness, how I wasn't able to harness my team and how the project was not so much a huge success. But what happened was it made me understand what leadership means and how to lead from various angles, not just leading in front. Now, I deliberately picked up a new project the next month to carry out a community impact project in education in a rural community. And with the lessons learned from the first failure I experienced, it helped me mold or lead a better team, a better diverse team that was filled with both various religions and tribes. I was able to coordinate change, and also we met our set targets. Over 50% of children at got interested in education. I already told you guys my passion for education in the beginning. So you can imagine my story of my interest in education and data is also recorded in my example. I think about how the team was very unified to cause change. So these are the things Chevening wants to hear. They don't just always hear the sweet side, the good side of you. Of course, everyone has failed at some point. We have all failed at some point. The stories or the faces you're seeing now are not all what it seems when it all started. We all hit that stumbling block and we fell. But the thing is that did you remain on the ground? No. We built on those lessons. We harnessed those lessons and molded them to cause substantial change moving on. And that is what I really want everyone to do. Most of you must have done some projects in the past, but might have failed. That doesn't mean you are not qualified for achieving because you failed. No, you are a very potential candidate. What you need to do is we're going to work with you to harness those failures into success. And with those failures and success, you will tell an outstanding story that can be irresistible to any selection committee. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. The next section is going to be just for networking. Remember, networking is very crucial. Feel free to talk about the section. Of course, it's going to be unofficial. I'm going to stop the recording. Feel free to talk about what Layo has said. Feel free to talk about your passion, what you're going to be doing going forward. Interact with your friends. We have over 80 persons in this room. Do well to start engaging yourself in some conversations, unmute your mic and talk about how the section was for you today and all of that. I want to hear those voices. In the next 30 minutes, once the talking section is over, we would end the section. We believe in subsequent section we'll put people into groups smaller groups so you can actually network easily. But for today, we're going to work with the big group. But subsequent meetings, we're going to have breakout rooms wherein everyone can engage with each other. Thank you so much, everyone, and do have an amazing evening. See you next section with different facilitators. Thank you, everyone. And do well to sign up for the Bloom Pod. Bye, guys.
Okay, hi guys. I'm sure these past 2 hours has been very, very rewarding for you all. The way we coordinate the networking session is just pretty much simple. We just pass the mic to various people. So you just want to tell us your name and basically what you've learned, like Precious rightly said, just so we get to meet you and know what you do basically. So Precious J is my name. You heard that already. I am the program manager for Do Take Action Nigeria. So this is what we have been looking forward to, the Bloom Pod especially, and we are so excited that not just the few people we have interacted with over the past couple of months have benefited from today, but so many people. So I'd like to pass the mic on to architect Ibrahim Kawuwa, if I got that name right. Please, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little about yourself? And I would not complete without saying a big thank you to Couscous and Layo. Both of you have made today so beautiful. Like I would say, you guys are super cool. Thank you very much for sparing us your very precious time to share from your wealth of experience. We're very grateful. So Ibrahim, Architect Ibrahim, kindly go on.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name, as you said, is Architect Ibrahim Muhammad Kaua. I am resident of Jalingo in Taraba State. I actually saw this league in our group with Architect Layo, she's an architect by training, so we were in an architecture group, so I saw the link and I decided to participate and maybe using your title, Do Take Action, so that I thought that it would be of benefit to me. Well, I'm actually a practicing architect and I work with an investment bank that is engaged in both investment and property development. But I'm still looking over to other opportunities and I'm happy and excited to have participated in this and I really gain enough. And I hope that what you people are doing there is very, very good and is going to be beneficial to humanity. Thank you and God bless.
Oh, Architect Ibrahim, thank you very much. Thank you very much. There is somebody's hand being raised there, Gloria. Gloria, I don't know if your question got us answered. If it did, kindly put your hand down. And I would like to pass the mic on to Farida Bello. Farida Bello, can we meet you, please?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Farida Bello, Mrs. I'm a professional manager. Also, I'm a chemist, a public analyst of the Institute of Public Analysts of Nigeria. I have both science background and business and management up to master's degree level. I actually have my passion in my scientific field, which I continue to press on. And that is the area that I might be looking at. I'm currently on AutoAid platform. That's AutoAid research platform, though I've not gotten onto any research yet. I may just look at this opportunity to see if I'll get onto one, probably in a short time. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Mrs. Farida. We so much appreciate your time here. There is somebody else here called Winnie Ngaji. I don't know if I got that last name correct. Winnie, do you want to have us meet you, please? Ola Daniel, your hand is raised. Do you have a question for us?
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am Winnie Ngaji. I am a safety professional. I work in Notori Chemical Industries here in Rivers State, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. So I'm very glad to be part of this opportunity. I've learned a lot as I hope to apply for the Chevening Scholarship come next month. So I'm really grateful. I've gotten a lot of knowledge that I'm going to apply come next month. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Winnie. Can we have Ifoma? That's just the name here, Ifoma. Please mute your mic and let us meet you.
Hello, good evening.
Evening.
Yeah, so actually Ifoma, I happened to join late, but I'm currently doing my master's in data science, and I'm looking forward to getting scholarships in AI, data science, or machine learning related fields. In probably I could do another master's or a PhD again. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ifoma. There is while I call on the next person, I would like that Ola Daniel is the next person. However, we've posted the link for Bloompod, how to join us on Bloompod. You can do well to quickly go on that link, and also there is a second link for GDC application. Whichever link works for you best, kindly do use that, and we will respond to you. Ola Daniel, please go ahead.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Ola Daniel Igilima. I'm calling in from Maiduguri, Borno State, Nigeria. I work with Street Child of Nigeria. It's a UK-based humanitarian organization where we specialize in implementing various education and protection projects. So I will be interested in networking with individuals who are interested in education and protection, gender equality, and then empowering women empowerment. So it has been a wonderful time to actually be here in this platform. I've